Welcome back to part two, guys. And last time we were talking about how we actually used our guidelines to sketch this out and lay out this initial drawing. Now we're going to continue to work on it and put in the details. And so let's begin. And here is in this part two, we're going to start here, but the eye is a good place to start. So as you can see, the eyebrow, right, is a little bit thicker and it's going up this way. And I visualized it before I drew it, so I'm going to same thing. We're going to now, this time we're going to be very careful to observe those tiny little bends. You see how this pom pom, you see that? Going up like that, and then that little bend. You want to give that bend there, that's going to give the characteristic of the eye. So once you get that, and then you're going to measure the distance. You're going to make sure that this is right up here in relation to this. How far away is the forehead, the forehead line? How far away is it going from the eyebrow? And then you're going to judge the distance between this and the eye here, right? And make sure you have the upper eyelid showing. Draw a little bit of shade. Okay. And then you go to the lower eyelid, and this time it's very important to see that there is a little bend right there, and it's coming straight up, just like so, like that, okay? And in the bottom, slight twist. I'm doing the lines a little bit thicker because I want to demonstrate this, that's why. But you want to make it a little bit lighter than I'm doing it. Keep it lighter, but you see where I'm going with that? Right there. And now the eyeball, and it's not touching the lower eyelid. It's not touching, right? So it's right there like that, sort of like that, okay? And you always want to make sure that there's a dark spot in the middle, and there's a slight reflection of light inside, okay? That's very important. There you go. It's something like that. All right? Because we have such little time, I want to be able to demonstrate all of this. YouTube doesn't give enough time for us to demonstrate it forever, right? So that's why we're trying to do this slower, faster. But there you go. There is that, okay? The eye. So now I have that eye. Now I'm going to go to the lower part of the eye. And this time I'm going to do it a little bit slower, actually. I'm going to slow down, kind of. And I'm always keeping in mind the entire forehead and this distance in mind when I'm actually drawing. I'm trying to keep that in mind and so I'm going to match this thin towards that, a little bit of a bend up here slightly. All right, thicker up here. You want to make sure there's enough room here between her, a little bit of shade, the upper eyelid, and once again it's going to have to come down this way, and a little bend there. And the eyeball is right about there. Something like so, And then the bottom, and it's time for an eraser because you see there's things that you need to fix up here. It doesn't seem right. So, but thank God for the eraser, Yeah, and now we go back. We're going to fix this. And put on the lower eye. And also always, you see how I'm always keeping my eye on this to see if I match it correctly and see if it's like the eye, all right? And it's a good thing to say these things out loud, like I said, the eye. And now that I have it somewhat in place, I can just work with the detail, a little reflection in the middle, all right? Just so I match this eye with that, and then now you see I do my shadings, keeping the lines always in one direction like this, and then you can cross hatch This is cross hatching. You can do it many different ways, but you make sure that you're going over the entire surface. So when you do this, you're going to go this way and that way and this way and that way, so you cover the entire surface, and that makes a big difference. As you can see, those are the details that are very important as you complete the drawing. And and then the values, the darks and the lights. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and try to lay out some of these darks to get an idea, because I have a good idea of where the outlines are going to be. But so I'm going to try to lay this down, and you see the light here, and you blend it, you blend it, and you see you can cross hatch. You can go this way, you can go this way, and you're going to develop your own style as you go along. But you need to practice, guys. Keep on practicing. Like I kept saying before, it's the best thing you can ever do. It's therapeutic. I don't know if you ever heard about this, but there are therapists, right, who sit down, charge $1,000 an hour, and you know what they do? They make you draw a picture. That's it. It's art therapy. That's what it's called. Psychologists have been using this method for the elites, because this is going to really help the mind, really, really control the mind, steady the mind, give peace, give happiness, and all that good stuff, right? So now, as you can see, I'm going to come down to the nose, and I have to make sure that now I pop the nose up, right, by shading it in the right place. So you see here, it's a plane. This is it's going up like this, and I'm going to use my shading, the method I shade. Like I said, you're going in one direction. You try to cross hatch. You're cross hatching, and you're going to pop this. You're going to show the shadow right here that's going to pop this up. The light is going to come up here, right? You want to make sure that there's a little bit of a reflected shadow. You want to make sure that there's a cheekbone thing right there, and you want to make sure there's a shadow. What you really want to do is to make sure that everything that's up here in this paper is reflected up here. Everything that's up here, all the shades. So as you can see, that little shade here is that. There you go. That's a little better, right? So we continue. We come down to the bottom, and you can leave a reflected shade light here, but you can also pop that outer edge of the outline. You're going to have to pop it out by going into the hair. And now we come up here. The ear is just a little suggestion, and she's got this gold earring, which are like these long drops, you see. There you go. And we have that. Now we come down to, and you see how I'm staying on this side of the picture, one half of it, so it's like almost, you could close this, right? And that's what I'm working on, because that's the way I have to keep it details, right? And now let's look at the nose. You see the nose, and the nose, the nose, and the nose. You're gonna come back here. The nose. I'm just kidding, people. There you go. Definitely subscribe to my channel. It's free for you, and I'm going to be putting a lot more channels. Do not forget, please, to hit that subscribe button, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much in advance for doing it. It's completely free for you. It just means you're going to be notified, or it just means that they're going to send my videos into your YouTube channel. That's what it is. My videos are going to be appearing on your channel. That's what that means. It's completely free, so please do subscribe. All right, and so there you go, guys. And you see, as you continue, and now I worked on the lip, on the upper lip here, and I'm now looking at the values. This is a little bit dark, So I'm bold. I'm going to be a little bit bold because I know the outlines are perfectly, not perfectly, but kind of closely, for the purpose of this. So there you go. I have that. Then I'm going to go down. You see the lip has this little, you see this, what I'm doing here? This is what I'm doing right there. Then I come down this way, come to this. Now, I'm looking at the chin, and the chin seems to be okay, but there is a blending of the shadow on the neck, which I have to do to be able to pop that chin out because I want this thing gone. So we fix that a little bit here, and it's wonderful to use the eraser to pop the lights out. That's another trick that you can do. Okay, so guys, we only have 3 more minutes left, so I'm going to do the best that I can to try to finish this as much as possible. And what I mean by that is I have to go over the entire drawing. In other words, I'm going to have to go into the nose, the nostril, under the nose, on top of the lip, on the lips, on the lower lip, under the lip, under the nose. You see, like that? So that's the way you're going to have to think of it. Look at it like this: under the nose, inside the nostril, up here. You have to make sure that there's this little thing right here, the plane that's disappearing inside there. You have to touch all the parts. That's what I mean by completing it. So you may do that fast or you may do it slow, but you can't leave it, otherwise it's be incomplete. So did I go over the entire thing? Kind of did, but a little too fast. So the 2 minutes that we have left, I'm going to say right like that, and so I'm going to enhance this a little bit. So with the very little time that we have left, I'm going to see if these shadows are matching this figure. And if you're going to look at this here, right here, we're going to have to make sure this is correct. And now, we don't want to ignore this. She has the second eardrop, which is up here, like that. And this is where the neck is. And very quickly, you have this okay, and so there you go, guys, and you're going to pop this background up there a little bit, okay, to get a good idea. But I haven't had the time to go over the entire thing, but as you can see, you get the idea. You still have to see, I haven't touched this yet, so it's basically, I would call it incomplete, but you know what I mean. I went over most of it, and make sure you touch every single area within her face, under the eye, the eyelid, the eyebrows, the nose, the nostrils, the bridge of the nose, the cheekbones on either side, the upper lip. And it's a good practice for you to actually call these words out like I'm doing loud. So it's going to focus you in on it. And I just saw a mistake right there, and you see the lip went up a little bit. So there you go, guys, and I'm getting close to what I want to be. And thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much in advance. See you next time.